Boom.
I was just gonna tell you that. I'm like,
I'll say it
lose,
for him. Get
lose,
mine.
lose too animated, lose too animated between the four of us to not have something protecting that mic from all the poppiness.
Protecting my mic.
Yeah,
Damn, Daniel.
You trying to
bro.
Mo-
call him an aggressive black man?
No, no,
That's
no,
so
no.
racist.
I
So
never said that. Don't
racist.
put words in my mouth.
I was actually looking forward to another sign of alcoholism is drinking out of refurbished jars.
Wow.
Um,
I'm an
that's just
alcoholic now.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's getting how you live right there. You don't care what it's made in. Um,
He's drinking out of
but
a mason jar, right?
Mason jar.
Yeah, just like Lucille's.
absolutely,
If you ever
man.
go to Lucille's,
This is juice, okay?
All right, man.
Juice.
it looks like a Long
The,
Island iced tea.
the ingredients read like the back of a juice box. That's for sure. You got everything but concentrate in that cup, all right?
Wow, the disrespect.
Ah,
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3 on 3 podcast. It's your guy Hans here with my main man Ev. What's going on, Ev?
good day, sir. Good day
Oh
to you.
man. Oh, I
Oh,
thought it fell.
listen. Won't lose it now, okay? All right.
You've been doing
Won't
it too
lose it.
long. You've been doing it
Absolutely.
too long.
Absolutely.
Got you.
And I've been praying on your downfall ever since.
As you should. My other main guy, Lou. What's up, Lou? How you doing, my guy? Yes,
How you
sir.
feeling, soldiers?
Doing well, doing well. As always, we do have the Pod Mamba coaching us from the backgrounds, making sure we're on point. We have a great show in store for you today. It's that time of the year, and I'm not talking about March Madness or playoff ready. I'm talking about injuries. It's that time of the year. A multitude of competing teams are suffering from injuries to their star players, or for some teams, they're starting five. So that leads us to really beg the question, how legitimate are these runs and how concerned should we be about these injuries? Let's just go down the list of them that are really the most notable ones. So, like I said, we have the Knicks who have had literally most of their starting five, if not all, been suffering with injuries from Randall to Brunson. Brunson just came back recently. OG's scheduled to come back as well. Mitchell Robinson, and the list just goes on. With
We get your point, Hans.
my bad, brother, my bad.
Gosh.
We get-
Just reporting on the news. That's it.
I should have just went
What,
down to starting five.
what you mean? It's no different than Memphis.
Right. And then we have the Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell with knee, bone bruise, and Evan Mobley with his back. More recently, we have Cat with a torn meniscus, and he's supposed to be gone for the rest of the regular season, not to be reevaluated for about a month or so. But given that it's a torn meniscus, we don't anticipate him really coming back. Then for Philly, we all know Embiid and what's going on with him and the injury that he has going on, and he was supposed to be reevaluated a couple weeks ago. We haven't heard anything quite yet, so we're all on Embiid watch. I guess we can call that. And then the Bucks have Chris Middleton. He was working his way back from a previous injury, re-injured his ankle, and he hasn't played since February 6th. Now they're saying that he has been participating in some practices and full contact and is scheduled back sometime this week, but they're kind of touch and go with it. So, that's remains to be seen. The Bucks are actually, trending in the right direction, and Middleton, we'll see what happens. LeBron, he's had his little nicks here and there with his ankle and things of that nature. And given that the Lakers are in the play-in kind of bracket, that's definitely significant because every game matters for those who are in that play-in bracket. And we have some other teams, the Warriors with Steph Curry with his ankle. Clippers, Russ fractured his hand, which is going to hurt their second unit because, he brings that energy off the bench. Trey Young tore a ligament in his fifth finger. He's supposed to be reevaluated in a couple weeks. They're in the same situation with the Lakers as far as struggling for the play-in and trying to get established in that realm. And, we got Rockets, Sengun. He was injured, and it turns out,
Man.
I know, Lou. I know, Lou. It turns out it's not a major injury. It's more so of a bone bruise. So, but he's still going to miss some significant time. So, all these injuries have in all these teams, which team are you concerned about the most with their injuries?
Well, y'all know I don't understand assignments. Usually I tell y'all, pick one team and then I pick two, or make a list of 5 players and I come with 8 players. So I'm gonna stay parts of the course right now, by picking a team, but using that same team's rationale for another team. Watch what I do here.
I see
Of course,
this
y'all,
masterclass.
He would say, "Watch me work."
of course, y'all think I'm going to pick the Knicks, and on one hand, I am going to pick the Knicks. We haven't had our starting 5 since January 28th.
Mm.
We were having the best month in the last 30 years of Knicks basketball when
I
Julius
was just about to
Randle
say
went
that.
down. No, legit, since the 94 team, they went to
No,
the
it
finals.
was. I remember
Yeah,
you every week. You'd be like, "Well, the best
absolutely,
record in December, best record since such and such."
absolutely, absolutely.
And when it rains, it pours.
It does, it does. So, you know, collectively, our team concerns me. Are the OGs scheduled to be back this week? It's looking like, but the moves we've made and the talent that we've accumulated, we need time to gel before the playoffs. So that's that. But I'm gonna go with Cat in Minnesota, and
Wow.
here's why
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cat. It's the same reason why I pushed back on the criticism of Julius Randle for all these years, and especially this season. You can't give up 22 and 8 and expect to be the same team, right? Minnesota currently still first in the West, unless they flip today and they second in the West. But they've been going back and forth with OKC for all season, right? Legitimately the top 2 teams in the West.
Yeah, they're third right now.
Cat's their
Mhm.
second best player. Even better, right? Cat's their second best player. Cat's the only other player on the team averaging 15 a game, right? Averaging more than, more than 14 a game. In the playoffs, as great as Anthony Edwards has been and the ascension that we're seeing from him, this team does not have enough offensive levers to lean on just Anthony Edwards in the playoffs. Cat has been that
Wait,
expert.
Nas Reed isn't enough?
Listen, Nas Reed, bless him. God bless him. He got his money. He deserved it. Solid player. If they're up against a team like the Lakers, in that
Who
two
they lost to?
seven or 1-8, who they just lost to the other night, they don't stand a chance with just Anthony Edwards. I won't say I already said it. They don't stand a chance with just Anthony Edwards.
You mean Gobert not giving you 20 and 10, and 20 and 15?
He might give you 12 and 15. He's not giving you 20 and 15. And we've seen them get played off the court in the playoffs before. So as much criticism as we give to Karl Anthony Towns, he's in that same boat as Julius Randle to me from the standpoint of the X factor type player, the player that can get that difficult shot when you need that difficult shot, that you can kick to and release. So it's not just that one focal player. So without Cat, I think that drastically changes the trajectory of this team. Now I will say when we found out Cat got hurt. Hines sent the text before I could even text it, and we both laughed because we both had the same thought. Would they actually be better without Cat? Would this actually take Anthony Edwards to another level? I could see him playing better, but the reality of it, though, like I said at the beginning of this diatribe, you can't just give away 22 and 8 and be better. So Minnesota
But
Cat's injury concerns me.
here's I 100% agree with you on that in terms of at this point of the season, you cannot replace Cat. You just can't. You can't pick up 25 points from somewhere at all. Because all the casts that they have at best are supporting casts. They're not, second option. They're third option at best, if we're honest. But what I did mean by that text, though, is will it unlock another level of Anthony Edwards that will make him better next year? So will it speed up his trajectory with Cat being off? So at the end of the day, like you said, Cat is a cushion for him because we've seen it. We saw it with the Lakers game when they locked down Anthony Edwards. Gobert wasn't in the game versus the Lakers, but he still wouldn't be an offensive, option. What do you do? Who do you go to? Right. So to me, I say it's a blessing because I think it unlocks another aspect or dimension of Anthony Edwards' game that he needs to work on and grow. And they'll be even better than they were projected to be next year because he's going to see like, okay, I need to do this, this, and that, to improve his game. But you're absolutely 100% right. There's no way you're going to get another 20 and 10 guy. That's not going to happen. And as much as y'all know, I'm very critical of Cat. I hate to see that happen via injury. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you hate to see that happen. Like, yes, I've been critical of them, but they've been having a great season. As much of I've been one to say it, I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think it's gonna last, right? I expect them to fall in the standings a lot sooner. And I hate that they're falling now because of injury. You get what I mean? So that really is sad to see. But I do think there's a silver lining that they may unlock something in Anthony Edwards that will make them even better than they're projected to be next year. So I'm interested to see what happens next year with them. As presently, comprised, I hate to say it, but I don't see them going far, man. I don't see them going far. And we'll get into it on our second segment on what that means with jockeying for position on who plays who, given these injuries, but that's a dimension of the game as well. So, Lou, given these injuries that I just rattled off, which team concerns you the most?
Well, it's not. So I think it's where I'm going with it is who is most disappointing in their ascension. So at this point in the season, as the Cavaliers, I think Mitchell being hurt, Mobley being hurt, like these guys are really like pressing to make a push. As we've seen them kind of like start to rise up. I mean, they're currently third, but we know how tight the East is. You lose 2 games, you could go from third to sixth very quickly. And in their last 7 games, they're 3 and 4 without Mitchell. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, especially when you start playing the top table teams. And when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about seeding is most important, and you want to be able to put yourself in a position. The 4 or 5 matchup is always the toughest. You want to avoid that as much as possible. And I'm sure they would love to stay at third right now. I mean, they have some luxury in the fact of seeing what's going on with the Knicks, what's going on with Philadelphia, their injuries, and then also, there's a question mark around the Bucks. The Bucks have had some questionable losses, so I'm hoping that they can turn it around fairly quickly. And then when Mitchell is back, they can kind of get back to business. But for right now, that's probably the one that's the most concerning for me because it's like very much so a team that's looked like that they can really just come and make a punch coming into the second half of the season, rising up very quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they were down in the bottom tier, potentially even a playing team at some point, and then for them to now be third, it would be unfortunate if injuries would derail them. I mean, to be honest, it's very similar to what we saw. I mean, with the Knicks. The Knicks again look like a team that could easily have been number two, number three, going into the playoffs strong and really holding out, home court advantage throughout. So, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, my pick are the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, man, that Donovan Mitchell was wild because at some point we were all saying, well, I was saying, I can't speak for you guys, like he should be a little bit considered for MVP. Like the way he's putting this team on his back and they're soaring through. And this was during the time when the Knicks were competitive and the Sixers, you get what I'm
Philadelphia,
saying?
yep.
Yeah. So he was doing it in a fashion that, it was very competitive competition out there. And, similar to Cat's situation because of injury, that's just disappointing. But I'm hoping that they get it together because although the record has not been as good from the games I've kind of watched, Garland has stepped up, but you can also see
Yeah.
the holes in his game as well too. And it's funny. Injuries also reveal the true limits of your other stars as well too.
And this is what I was going to say is that very similarly to what we're looking at Minnesota is what we're seeing with Cleveland. That's why I figured that this was gonna be. I'm sitting here trying to kill this gnat, yo. My
I'm
bad,
saying it's
guys.
making a
The
it's
first, the
making an
first
on
time
air
it flew
appearance, man.
by, I saw it and I wasn't going to point it out, but then you swatted at it, so you made it public knowledge.
Bro, look, man, it's annoying me, man. I'm gonna kill that.
You need to stop being Haitian and close your windows, okay?
But I know I do. I was cooking earlier,
I
but
laughed and then I was like, am I allowed to laugh at that?
Yeah, you're allowed. Your wife's Haitian, man. You're fine.
yeah, man. By
Your
by
family, your
association,
family.
by
Yeah, right.
association now, bro. You by blood, by blood.
I
But
Yeah, you
like
family.
at this point, nah, man. It's even though I'm a big fan of Garland, we see the difference when Donovan is on the court versus not. Very similar to like we love Ant, but I'm not gonna say that Cat is better, but just like you missing out on 20 and 10. Look, 27, 5 and 5, it's a lot to miss too.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot to miss, and that's a lot to make up from your other players. They have a solid team, but you need your guy. You need your star guy to really help take you over the hump.
And what I'll say concerns me a little bit about them is that they made it to second and then they're falling back. Like, I feel like psychologically, when everybody thinks that the Celtics and the Bucks are the clear top two teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
For them to step in and put some disruption to that for a little bit, that could be a confidence builder. But then to fall back down from that, I'm interested to see how they react to that. And we'll talk about that some in the next section, but how they react to things like that is some of my questions about the Cavs in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. I was gonna say something, but like you said, we'll get into it on the second segment. For me, man, the team that really is concerning me, I will say, is going to have to be the Bucks. They're catching their stride right now. Their defense has improved dramatically. A lot of people crediting that with Doc Rivers being there and galvanizing the team and getting them to work together in one accord. So they have improved. They're finding their groove. Dame scoring is going up. He's running more of a focal point on the offense. He's running the point guard position more. He's bringing it up more as opposed to Giannis. So they're trending in the right direction. But that Middleton one, for me, that is a big injury because that to me is a defining factor on whether they're Celtics Denver level. Because if you get at least 80% Middleton, somebody who can defend, who can get you a bucket from the post. He can get you a bucket, whether it's in the last point of the game. He can get you
About to
bucket
say.
in, yeah, like multiple facets. You can throw him the ball and he'll figure it out. So to me, he's going to be a defining factor on whether they can really make it to that next level, Celtics kind of Denver type level. Now, without Middleton, I still think they'll be competitive, but I
Yeah.
think it'll be closer. It'll be too close for comfort. It'll be a coin toss still. But
Mm-hmm.
I think if you add Middleton, that gets them there. It gets them to the Celtics level. So hopefully Middleton can come back and we can see some really high level competition basketball. Because think about it, man. Jason Tatum, you got Brown, you got Kristaps, right? And you got Holiday. Like we want to see them at full strength versus Giannis, versus Dame, versus Middleton. Pat Bev is the irritator. Like you want to see all of that there. So I guess maybe for my dramatics, I want to see Middleton healthy and the spirit of competition as well. And also too, I'll say I'm a hater. People are lauding this Boston Celtics teams a little too much, and I need them to come down to earth. Now, yes, they did have a
Hey,
couple game losing streak right now, which understand like they're really not that great as people are lauding them to be. I feel like they're where they're supposed to be, but I just want the Bucks to be at full strength so we can really kind of gather and get a full understanding of where they're at when being compared to other elite teams in the league.
hey, man, that point that you made about Middleton is like remembering that he was the Bucks closer for so long.
Yes.
So to be able to have two closers on the court now, as opposed to just, oh man, my bad, bro. But yeah, to have two.
You
Happy
good.
birthday, Lou.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yay!
Happy
Here we
belated
go.
birthday, Hans.
Yay! I'm celebrating, man.
Yeah, but
One
yeah, to
birthday
have
every day.
two, I know, right? For sure. But yeah, to be able to have two closers on the floor because, hey, man, Boston, they're looking to Tatum. Kristaps is no slouch when it comes to being able to close the game. We're not going to bring no left Brown into the mix. But, I am excited to see it. But yeah, I'm with you. I want to see them at full strength.
Yeah, man. So
14.8 points per game, lowest since 2016, 43 games played after only playing 19 last year. Your concern with Middleton is that the injuries are so lingering that he's not going to be able to overcome them. You're asking him to be something that he hasn't been now in 2 seasons. And so that has to be concerning for the Bucks of will that snap into place for 7 weeks here in a month and a
wow.
half?
I just had a deja vu moment. I must have had a dream about this. I 100% agree, but here's the silver lining. They're not asking him to be that. Dame's here for that. All they're
Exactly.
asking him for to be is to be solid on defense and to be efficient on offense.
It's just like what they're asking Kristaps to be.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't
all
need.
they're asking him to be. They don't need him to be the closer. They don't need him to take the last second shot. They don't actually even need him to guard the best defender because they have Giannis for that. They brought Pat Bevan for that as well too. All they're asking for him is to take that set shot in the corner or to throw it in the post if they need to get that turnaround fadeaway or that mid range from the free throw line, which he has been, or the elbow. I'm sorry, which it's like his signature shot, right? So I think it's doable. I don't think they're asking him to be the old Middleton, which I think is still doable. So
So you mean like him being a 3-level scorer?
yeah, scoring from all three levels.
So the
Yeah.
question you're asking at that point, and it's not one to answer, is his stat line now because he's the third option or because he's physically limited?
I
And I
think it's
guess
because
we'll
he's
find
It's
physically.
about,
out.
I
I
think
think
it's a
it's
mix of
physically
both.
limited
I think
because
it's a
if
mix
you
of both.
remember, when he was ramping up, so the way they got him off the injury, he was stating, at least on the interviews I saw, that he was ready to go, but they were putting him on a minutes restriction. They were ramping him up, and he said he was ready to go. So that affected it as well. But I think his stat line will increase because they'll run him with the second unit primarily, and he'll get more touches. So I think we'll see that. I think what we were seeing was a mixture of the ramping up and playing too cautious with him, which we need to do a segment on that and do some research on that, right? The amount of injuries we're seeing here compared to past and how they're treating injuries now versus how they treated injuries in the past, and whether it's having an effect, positive or negative, on the amount of injuries that we're seeing now, right? Because this ramping up kind of stuff wasn't happening as often back then as it is now, right? Even on minor injuries. So I'm very curious to see the research on that. We'll have to look into that. But let's move on to the next segment, guys. So right now in this season, it's pretty clear who the top 10 teams are for each conference. We know who's going to be in the play-in or who's jockeying for spots in the play-ins. It's kind of clear to see who the top 10 teams are, 20 teams in the league. So my question to you guys, I'll start with you, Lou. Give me your dark horse team right now that has a legitimate shot at the title on the West Coast.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right?
Tread lightly.
It's gonna
He
sound,
said tread lightly. Yes, the Lakers are
trust
a
me,
dark horse. Say it.
trust and believe. The Lakers, no, they're not even on my radar to even make
Oh,
it
they're not even a
out the
horse.
first. No, they're not.
Where's the
They might be.
mute
They,
button? Where's the
they
mute?
might be a. It might be a mule at best.
Wow.
Evan, mute this
mule.
man.
A mule at best.
Wow.
No, I think, and it's gonna sound a little wild because they're the best team in the West. But OKC, because I don't think OKC has the experience to win a championship at this time, especially as we see the second half of the season starting to ramp up. We're getting closer to playoffs. Teams with the experience and the pedigree are now opening up their playbook and starting to, basically start to test out what their team is going to be looking like and going all these different looks going into the playoffs. But I think OKC has enough that, man, if they get the chance, they're going to punch it in. They're going to punch it in.
Okay.
I think they're very well coached. And obviously, man, you see, look, that boy, Shea Gilly, man. We're starting to see him being the player that can come and will his team into a win. Be the guy to really say, hey, look, I'm gonna put it on my shoulder and we're gonna take it to the next level. And then, with arguably the second best rookie in the NBA right now. So I think that OKC is my dark horse, mainly because when it comes to the Titans of Denver, and so on, like, it'd be tough for them to beat them, but so that'd be OKC.
Okay.
I broke my list up into yeses and nos, right? And I put the Thunder as the very last team that I put on a list because I went back and forth with them ever since we came up with this segment a few days ago. I landed on no, on do they have a chance to win the title? And here's why. Shea Gilly's been amazing. Shea Gilly's been amazing, right? Jalen Williams, J-Dub, the good one. Does he give you enough to be a second option on a championship team at his size, playing primarily power forward and small forward? That concerns me. It concerns me more so because they did not get any size at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
That concerns me. And we see how larger teams beat them up when they play them. I'm talking about the Lakers. I'm talking about the Nuggets primarily. Even the Clippers to an extent, although they went back and forth with the Clippers this year. And then the third thing that concerns me with them is Josh Giddey. He's been my concern the whole season. The first thing I said about the Thunder.
He's been a lot of people's concerns.
Exactly. The first thing I said before the season started was that they should trade him now. when the brights are the lightest and the game plans are focused on them for a series, they're gonna leave them open and dare them beat them. And we've seen multiple teams falter by that approach in seasons past. Now I don't feel strongly about that no, but I had to put them in a no.
So my question is this: Are you answering the question that Hans asked or not? Like, are they your dark horse or not? Like,
They're not my
are you
dark horse, my light horse.
Or you just responding to what I said?
I just respond to what you said, man.
Okay, but that's the reason why they're my dark horse, right? So you're in essence agreeing or giving more color into to why.
You can flip it that way. I agree with you, Lou.
Yeah, because my dark horse means who could potentially slip and win. OKC. Do I think that they have enough to win? No. For said reasons given by our dear brother Evan Butler Sands.
So I didn't mean that. No. I didn't mean it in that way. The only reason I even chimed in is because they're the team that I agonized over the most with figuring out how I felt about them coming into the playoff.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
I'm on the same
so
boat.
like you said, for that reason, if I was that back and forth about it, by that standpoint, yeah, that might make them the dark horse, right? So you're right. But yeah, they were on my list for so long. I just had to really talk through that.
But you know what's crazy about them?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember recently when this happened. I can't remember such a high-seeded dark horse. I can't remember the last time we've had such a high-seeded dark horse. So that's going to be interesting. But there are some holes in the game. Primarily, they're soft in the paint, and also they get a lot of their points off of turning teams over and scoring. But in the playoffs, possessions are fewer, the game's slower, so it is going to be harder to turn teams over and score in transition. So that is going to present a problem to them. But it's interesting to see, though. Great players shine. As Lou affectionately calls him, Shea Gilly may take it to another level. And
free throw merchants don't do well in the playoffs, by the way.
Here you go. What did Shaq do his entire career? What did they do? Shaq do his entire career? They did what? They tried to get Shaq on the line because of what?
That's because he can hit his free throws.
Okay, then. And y'all still won chips, right?
Yeah, because he was dominant in the paint. But without the free throws, Shea Gilly can't do shit.
Well, they're the number two. You're tripping. They're the number two. They also have the number 2 defense in the league for a reason, right? But there's a reason why they get so many points off turnovers. They're solid defensively. So at the end of the day, like they're not a fluke for being the number 1 seed, right? They've been a top seed in the season all season. So it's not like I can see if like, okay, maybe third of the season. So no, they've been a top team from rip. It's just like, what has been mentioned. There's some holes in the game that are going to present to be difficult when you get to the playoffs. The game is slower and it gets a little bit more grueling, and you got to play 7 games to get out of here. So
they're going to have to deal with the exposing of Chet on the defensive end. Because what are you going to do when Anthony Davis plays like he did the other night, right? Like, what are you going to do? But also, to lose credit, like you said, though, Shea Gilly has put in some masterpieces, and he is a master at picking his spots and scoring regardless of getting to the free throw line or not. He's still a efficient scorer. So they're a team to watch for.
No one's scared of the Thunder. The Thunder are like the Thunder are like the gnat that keeps on flying around Lou's face. Like they're nothing. They're nothing to these teams in the playoffs. You know what's going to happen?
That's who you want to face. That's who you want to
100%.
face.
Oh, the Lakers will 100%
I killed one
beat
already.
That's going to be the Lakers when they beat the Thunder. I'm telling you.
Ev, in the East, things have fallen to shambles from 3 on down, with injuries and things of that nature. We know without a shadow of a doubt, Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, they're contenders. Who else is going to contend with them in the East, legitimately? Who's going to knock them off their pedestal?
before I answer, I just want to say that that was not a gnat that flew by Lou this time. That one had wings that you could see clearly. That was
That
a
was a
Fucking
moth.
moth.
it's an
Yeah,
infestation in that house,
yeah,
man.
that
What's
was
going
that
on?
that was a moth, Lou. So I'm worried about you. As far not you, I mean, like, I'm worried for your well being is what I mean. Like, I don't want something like that to sting you while we're recording. Um, sorry, sorry. I
Oh
got four
man.
teams in the East. That chill out, man. All right, I
I
got
asked
I
him
got
for one. He
four.
give me four, man. Go
I
ahead,
got
man. Go
four
ahead.
teams. No, no,
Do
no.
what
The
you want,
Celtics,
man.
the Celtics and Bucks, like you said. And I can't pick one without picking the other because I would not feel good about it.
You know who Ev was, man? When their parents tell you to go in that store, you can only get one thing. One thing.
I absolutely was that person.
And
Yes.
you
Ev
know
was
what?
that kid who
And then you
brought
know what?
back.
And then he ended up with nothing.
Nah, nah, no, no, no.
He ain't
All,
have Haitian
all,
parents.
all contrary, all contrary. I came back with three, and I ended up with two. All right, you got to know the art of the bargain,
Wait, hold up,
okay?
hold up. You got
That's why he
siblings?
works with numbers, man.
Wait, you
I'm my only child, baby.
makes sense.
Absolutely,
Makes sense.
absolutely,
Oh
absolutely.
man, Ev was
But
that kid, man. I know you said I could get one big thing, but what if I get three little things, right? Listen,
well,
So,
it's easy when you're the only child. Ain't nothing to divvy.
so
my
here's
bad,
why I
Ev, but go
answered.
ahead, go
You
ahead,
good, man? You good? Here's why I answered the way I do. The Knicks, if healthy, can compete with the Celtics, can compete with the Bucks. The Bucks actually worry me a little more than the Celtics. But
Really?
yes,
Okay.
I think we match up well with the Celtics when healthy. We've played them tough the last 3 years, and with the lineup, with the additions we have now, uh, if healthy, I have to keep caveating.
Yeah,
OG
yeah, yeah.
changes the game defensively. The small ball lineup that we have the potential to do matches up well with Chris and the rest
I
of
said
the
with Chris
wing.
Stops too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, listen, Julius Randle, I think he's the best player in that matchup between him and Kristaps. And then you put OG on Tatum and Brown, you keep Hart, DiVincenzo out there, et cetera, et cetera. I
White
think
Dante.
absolutely put White Dante out there. I think we match up good. The problem is because we've been hurt for the past 6, 7 weeks, we haven't
Mm,
had the opportunity to get chemistry and symmetry with those lineups. So that is what's increasingly concerning me by the day
Because
about
this is the time of year where you work that out.
exactly,
So
exactly. And who's doing that right now? Who is the only other team in the East that I think has a chance is the Miami Heat. And that's why they're concerning me right now. Jimmy's back to playing. Jimmy's back to D'ing up the best player at the end of close games. Um, we've seen Jaquez all season. We've talked about Terry Rozier getting his
Hero
legs
doesn't
under
hurt.
him. Hmm?
Doesn't concern you. Hero being out doesn't concern you.
I mean, they've already done it with
when was Hero
Hero
in?
out, right?
Okay.
This is
Fair. No,
what
that's
concerns
fair. That's
me.
fair.
This is what concerns me the most about the Heat. I don't know if we said it on camera or off camera, but we talked about Denver being the most consistent team with knowing exactly who they are in every
Okay.
situation, and that benefit in the fourth quarter. The Heat are the East Coast version of that. They don't have a Jokic, but they have that confidence in their game plan that's equal to any other team. And you need that in the playoffs. They're not going to have the doubt that Boston's going to have when it gets tough, that Milwaukee's going to have when it gets tough, that any of these other teams are going to have when it gets tough. So that's why I have to give you two answers, the Knicks and the Heat.
Got you. I can see that. I just for me, I don't I'm concerned about the Heat because of what you mentioned. How many times can you do that? It's wearing you down. And as great as Jimmy Butler is, in my eyes, maybe he's not completely healthy. He's lost a step. He's lost a step offensively. He's not as good as a lockdown defender as he once was. But maybe I'm just getting fooled into the whole Miami lulling you into their, regular season play versus how they play during the playoffs, right? So maybe I'm falling for that again. But I'm not seeing as dominant of a Jimmy as I would want to. And that does concern me a little bit. But like you said, right, you got Jaquez here who's emerging. Terry Rozier has been playing better as of late. And then, Bam, no drop step out of bio. That concerns me. That concerns me as well too. I don't.
Let me say this about Jimmy real quick. I don't think he's had a real injury all season. Like he's had
It's been
minor things,
knickknacks.
this and
Yeah.
there, knickknacks, then got to take personal time off and whatnot. At this point, this is what his fifth year in this run with Miami. I think they got
Yeah.
an understanding at this point. Jimmy, we need you in April. All right. So
Just show up in
Look,
April.
no,
up in
look.
April.
No, listen, we've seen it with your boy Kawhi. We've seen it with Kawhi. I think Jimmy is pacing himself. And I think also Miami putting all these pieces with Scary Terry and so on, because I don't think they really believe Hero is going to be effective. Duncan Robinson is more effective than people really expect, because they
He's
they
back
got
to
the
his
spot.
old self.
He got the spot up shooters that they need. They're like, all right, Hero's not here, but Duncan is shooting. They got Jaquez, who's again, like you said, emerging and really picking his spots. And as a more seasoned rookie in there, so understands the game a little bit better. So they're putting things around Jimmy where they're like, look, Jimmy, we got you. Like you said, just show up in April. We just need you to show up in April. Do your thing.
You can't get your hair perm mid-season and be concerned about your injuries, okay? Jimmy's
He
fine.
can't get his hair permed, man.
Whatever he did, man.
It was a silk.
It was a
press.
blowout, man. It was a blowout.
Whatever you call it. If you can get
Listen.
blowouts in March, man, you fine.
Blowout. It don't take much to get a blowout, Ev. Come on, man. Listen,
I understand it don't take much.
Listen,
I
somebody who
understand
has
it don't
hair.
take much.
Hans
you ain't got to hate on me, Hans.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
but no. Oh no. All Hans had to say is somebody who has gotten a blowout or who gives the help. No, there's no to say that. No, but as somebody who has hair, wow, dog.
You right?
Wow.
All right, my bad, y'all. Y'all ain't got to jump on me. All right. Pop Mom, you ain't got my back? Nah? Okay, cool. Listen. he was rocking the pigtails, doing his thing, man. Listen, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you could switch your hairstyles multiple times during the season, you're not hurt, man. You chilling. All right.
Jimmy, like I think they
I'm wearing my pigtails next week.
Because you're not hurt. That's why. Because you're not hurt. All right, Jimmy outside, man. He good.
Word. He getting that good sun in Miami. You know what I mean?
Hans, I want you to look like that guy from the Boondocks with the two buns.
Thugnificent.
Oh, Thugnificent?
Yeah.
Thugnificent with the two thumbs. I'll make it work. See if I can make it happen. If my wife will allow it.
Word. No, yeah, I'm with you on that. I had them as my dark horse, but I had them as my light skin horse because they wouldn't be much of a surprise for me.
And if we healthy, I still want to see him in the first round because we got business to settle.
I'll say Miami and the Knicks. That's
I would love to see that.
Run it up. Let's go.
I would love to see that.
Prime time, son.
I would love to see,
especially the history, not even just your recent history between this two present comprised, but historical.
Well, he got worse after they got Scary Terry, so I think the Knicks would get it easily.
Oh, here you go.
Knicks look good, man.
You hate Miami so much.
The only bad thing the Knicks did is ruin Bogdanovich's career because that dude was averaging 20 points a game, and all of a sudden he's just scoring like 8 points.
What
happened to that man?
That basket's a lot bigger in empty gyms, okay? That's what happened. Right.
Detroit is
ruined my fantasy team. Now Hans is in first place and I'm in second.
Shout out to me. I was gonna do it at the end of the show, signing off. Shout out to me being number one in the fantasy league. But
here we go.
Unbelievable.
Just throwing it out there, man. Hey man. Who has the better team now? Serbian mafia, baby. Serbian French mafia. I was gonna say something that I think Christian was gonna like in terms of Miami. When do they move on from Hero?
When we move on from Lonzo Ball.
They've been trying to move on from here for the past 3 years.
As soon as
Well,
they
Pat
sign
said
the
he's
check.
untradeable, but when do they move on from Hero?
There's a reason why he meant that. And it's not why you think.
I'm just saying.
Again,
I've been
they've been trying to move on from
he's
Hero
untradeable.
since 2022.
Got it. So there's not a market for him. Heard.
I told y'all where Hero needs to go, man.
Where?
Oh, man.
Utah Jazz, all right.
Oh, I thought it was somewhere in Kazakhstan.
Let's make it happen.
Playing with Dwight Howard somewhere.
Listen, man, the good people of Utah need to lean into their identity.
What they giving, Laurie? Who they giving up?
Nah, Laurie has
Come on,
to stay.
no way you giving up
okay?
Laurie for
That's what I'm saying.
Hero,
Like,
bro.
what's
Unless you blowing it up.
Colin Sexton, man. You know, we trying to.
I think Duncan Robinson's more of a Utah Jazz player than Tyler Hero.
They both need to go. They both
culturally speaking, I agree.
Tyler Hero's more of like a Milwaukee Bucks type of guy.
Tyler Hero's from Wisconsin. Oh, okay. I just made your point, huh?
Thank you. Yeah. Anyways.
I can see him fitting in an Indiana mold too, though.
Tyler Hero for Jordan Poole. Who says no?
Everyone says no.
Everyone.
But you know what's funny? You said culturally, Duncan Robinson. You know who remind me? Hornacek.
Yes. I thought you said Jimmy Neutron.
I'm done. Christian,
and that's the show.
Somebody mute Christian's mic. Mute Christian's mic right now. Oh man! All right, y'all. I'm done.
Evan, you with us, man?
I am. I had to make sure he was from Wisconsin. That's all. I was right.
Okay.
He was checking his facts, man. He was fact checking himself.
Just fact checking.
He said, and I just made your move.
No, you know what? Tyler Hero's more of like a Detroit Pistons type of guy. You know, like
no. He's a LA Laker, bro. He likes to be on TV, likes to be in movies.
What?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He was a white man can't jump.
We already have a white boy that's
Tyler Hero for Austin Reeves. Who says no?
Oh, I like that. Make that happen.
I say yes. Let's go.
What'd you say?
Austin Reeves.
Tyler Hero. Let's go. Right, easy swap.
I guess we're stopping this show early.
Come on, man. AR-15, man. Switch them up.
See the spin cycle that AR was putting dudes this past game against the Timberwolves? Come on, man.
You gotta check your blood pressure when you ball like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Wow.
Anyways.
All right. Okay. Before we go into the last topic, before we sign off, I have to give a disclaimer. The topics that we're presently going to be discussing may be triggering for those who follow a team that has completely and continuously let them down, disappointed them, and brought them into the dark trenches of their emotional state. We're not here to bring darkness on the show, but shed light. But this segment is going to let those out there in what I call the dark side of the moon of the league.
Okay.
Who has teams that are struggling to get out of there and make competitive basketball and have a winning season to get to 500 or a little bit above. We're going to take a time to let you have a vent session. We're going to have an intervention. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk and, just really let you know that you are not alone. And it's okay, and it will get better. We don't know when, but it will get better.
This isn't a safe place for you. This isn't a safe place for you, Lou. I can fill in for you if you want to just take a break, bro. Because this is not going to be easy for you to listen.
Listen, Lou actually has it better than me. His team is actually in the play-in.
No, but
why?
The Trailblazers at least know that they suck, and they go fully into it, right?
Hold on. we're actually a honorably mentioned from the first segment as a team who's been riddled with injuries. Okay, if
Don't
we
do
weren't
this.
riddled with
Don't do
injuries,
this.
we'd be
Don't
a
do this.
legitimate playing team just like the Bulls.
Don't do
Okay,
this.
don't come for us.
Don't
All
do
right,
this.
dominating had 30 and 19 the other game. Okay,
Well,
don't
he
come
didn't
for
have
us.
ice on his driveway, so he was able to get to the game.
Well, exactly. So don't come for us, all right? No injuries. Shaden Sharp, you know, Brogdon had injuries. Simons had injuries. We've been injury riddled. All
We
right,
should we
that's what
should
we
have
got.
named them in the first segment. That's my
We
fault for
should
leaving
have,
them
because
out.
we would have been a contender, man. Out
That's on
here, we
me.
would have beat Minnesota, man. I'm just saying,
First,
man. Come
first
see
of
us, bro.
all, I is Simons alive after what Green did to him?
Hey, man, I appreciate you posting that in the chat, man. As one of my best, closest friends in life, I
I
expected
posted
better
it.
from you.
I posted it.
I know, no. I know, but I didn't need you to co-sign though.
It's fine. It's fine.
I wanted better from you. I wanted
He
better from
heard
you.
he heard you had dreams of having courtside seats and felt he could share that experience with you.
Right.
I wish I had the Apple
Yeah.
Vision Pro so I could see it courtside.
And I wanted to put that great comeback, but they win, but they did win. So yeah, I can't even. I had no comeback. All I did was just take that. It's like, dang.
I really wanted y'all to win too.
Yeah, man. We show signs. I feel like we play Minnesota every other night.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. It's like y'all just drive down.
Yeah. Yeah, we play Minnesota like every other night. And honestly, we keep up with them up until the fourth. And I don't know if that's them just toying and playing with their food. Or if it's
No, they're just not that good.
Stop it. Minnesota.
Or
They're the
Portland
fraudiest-
is that good.
They're the fraudiest.
Or-
They're the fraudiest top 4 team I've ever seen since the 06 Dallas Mavericks.
They're the fraudiest top 14.
Oh, six Dallas Mavericks.
Or when was the
Who's
year,
on the 06?
When was the year
Who
that
won that year?
Wait,
Was
what
that
was
Terry?
The Heat won. That's the year the Heat
Wait,
won.
what was the?
That's
what
Terry,
was-
right? Terry was on there.
Dude, is that the year that they beat
Jason
the Heat?
Kidd.
Oh, wait. What was the year that Baron Davis Golden State Warriors beat the Mavericks as an 8th seed? What year was
That
that?
was the next season, wasn't it?
That was
Yeah.
08.
07.
That was 07 or was it 08?
No, it wasn't
Look it
08.
up.
It
I thought it
wasn't.
was 07 the following
07?
season.
Okay,
I'm
whatever
looking.
whenever that year was, that's the team that reminds me of the Minnesota Timberwolves. That
Yeah, it was
2024.
06, 07.
I am not a believer of the Timberwolves. But anyways, this is not the segment that we're talking about. I'm sorry. I don't even know why
Clearly it is.
you brought yourself
because-
through here. I
Look, man.
apologize. I was doing so good the whole episode. I just
You were holding it
I
together.
derailed this whole episode. I'm sorry, guys.
He's
It's
like, I
fine, it's
can't.
fine.
We just know you don't like frauds. It's okay.
But you know what though? Let's turn this segment to it. The frauds. Call out the frauds. We called out who the competitors were. Who are the frauds that are perpetuating themselves in this playoff run, but we know that they're really not going to do anything. I'll start the LA Lakers.
Oh, I was gonna say the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls.
why
Lakers-
would we all run into the mic to say the Lakers?
The Lakers
We're
are
all-
the biggest frauds on this planet right now, trying to make everybody believe that they're going to get it together and get every single win, and they're just going to turn it on as soon as the playing, gets going, and they're going to get the wins and no.
The Lakers are 15-2 when Torian Prince plays less than 25 minutes.
First round knockout. You heard it here first.
Lakers
Heard it here
are
first.
first in the. I think they're first or second in NBA in 3-point or in offense since January or February. I think.
First round knockout. OKC knocking them out. Called it.
So,
Called it.
trying to think what World Cup that was. I want to say it was the 2004. No, maybe it was 2018. You remember that chant? We believe that we will. How the U.S. kept doing that. We believe that we will win. The chant, and obviously you got eviscerated. 2014. Yeah, 2014 World Cup. That's what the Lakers are. The Lakers are like, LeBron, LeBron actually has a starting cast. They win without him. Yeah, when he gets back, they're really gonna win. Yeah, first round knockout for sure. I'm surprised that they even making the play on.
Not
To be honest.
if it's against the OKC Thunder. It's an easy dub right there.
Easy dub.
Josh,
Wow.
let's Josh
That's
Giddey,
crazy.
let's let Josh Giddey shoot them threes, and AD will lock up Chet. And what else they got? Shea Gilling
But
and get the 10, the 12, 15 free throws he gets per game.
You're right.
Who's gonna guard him? Not D'Lo.
Shea Gilly, Vando,
Yeah, who's guarding him?
Vando. Oh, now you
All
want to roll
right.
your eyes because I gave you an actual person that is going to guard him.
Go ahead, Ev.
That's
Who's
why.
your
Yeah,
fraud?
that's why you had nothing to say.
No, I'm
You
gonna
had
let you
nothing to
cook
say.
because I have my own team to commiserate about. But
I actually really want to see the
mm,
Timberwolves knock them out. That's what I would love to see. The Timberwolves, but the Timberwolves are going down, so I
Who's
don't
going to
think
knock
they'll
who
face the
out?
Lakers. But
yeah,
Did you say the Timberwolves are going to knock the Lakers out?
I say I would love to see the Timberwolves knock
Oh,
the
that ain't
Lakers out, but they're
happening.
going down. I don't think they're going to face each other. So it's
what's
going to have to be OKC.
because you
so
guys don't
what's
want to. You
funny
guys don't want to face. Y'all don't want to face Denver for sure.
that's what
Oh
I was
no,
about to say was funny.
my
So
yeah.
the 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 fraud list and what's going to be funny to watch is that 9-10 game against the Lakers and the Warriors because I think both of them are the frauds in this list. And it is along the same lines as what you said. I mean, we're 64, 65, 66 games into the season. At this point, you kind of are who you are. The whole we're going to turn it on now for the last 15, 16 games. The Lakers challenge is that when it was last week, it was 15 of their last 20 games are against playoff teams. I think it's now like 13 of the last 16 games are against playoff teams. The Warriors simply haven't been able to find that consistent cohesiveness of what lineup is going to work for them. Chris Paul, he looks like as old as he is. Clay, he's having moments, but nothing consistent. There's no consistency on anybody on the Warriors team. And so my concern with them, especially if, hey, if one of them, even if one or both of them make it out of the play-in, they're up against the Denver Nuggets or the OKC Thunder. Good luck. I don't see it.
Better hope it's not Denver. Better hope it's not.
Mark the
We
tape
know what happened
now.
last. We know what happened last time they played Denver.
Mark the tape now. The Lakers will not even be a playing team.
Oh,
They will be at the 6 when it's all said and done.
I mean, they're 2 games. They're 2 games out the 6, so it's not a far stretch. It's not
And
a far stretch.
passing Phoenix.
And if they are in the playing team, guess what? The Lakers have won every playing game they've played since it's been in existence. So
Listen, man,
what do we care?
It's all
Between
good.
the
It's all good.
play-in and the IST, y'all got the fringes on lock. I'll tell you that.
We like to play. We like to live our life dangerously, as
This is
as a man named Austin Powers once said.
Look, man. Good luck. Good luck.
All right, Lou, to wrap it up, who's your fraud, Lou?
My fraud. Well, other than the Los Angeles Lakers, I think on the East Coast, for me it would be Orlando. I don't think Orlando really like that.
I knew who you were gonna say before you said it somehow.
You don't believe in the 5th seed Orlando Magic, man?
Come on, man. I don't think any of us do. Hey, you know what I mean? So
That's funny. You know who I was gonna say for the East? Pacers.
I was about to say Indiana. I already knew he was going to go.
Not yet.
Those are
They say
nah.
the
New-
Cavs.
bad.
The Cavs.
The
See,
Cavs?
Nah, the Cavs have some experience. You know what I mean? And they have two legit. They have two legit guys. Well, one superstar and
You
one
really
other
think the
legit
Cavs
star.
are going to go far in the playoffs?
Not injured, but further than Orlando and Indiana for sure.
I think so. What's funny is I can see it going one of two ways. If they get hit in the mouth early, they're the team I think is most likely to fold the Cavs. They're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to jump out in that first round and really establish themselves because of the doubts and the demons from the previous season, and the fact that if we're being honest, their record has been great, but Garland's had a down year. Mobley hasn't become who we thought he would become a year and a half ago. He's looked better, but every time he starts to look a little better, injuries derail him. So I mean,
Jared Allen playing better than expected, though.
They definitely found an identity around Mitchell and Allen. But when it comes to that playoff basketball, especially the way they folded last year, I think they have to prove it to themselves as much as they have to prove it to us before they could be taken seriously. So,
but while we're talking about it, though, the two frauds could end up playing each other in the first round. So,
which would I'd love to see.
Yeah, which would actually be great.
That's what I would love to see. Yeah,
so,
I would love to see.
You know, we'll see how it goes, guys. As always, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You can always check us out on our YouTube channel, the 3on3 Podcast, for additional content on our OT segment. So please switch over there and see what we got coming up in our OT segment. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, give us a thumbs up. If you really, really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you can keep up with us every week. Be sure to follow us on all our socials at the 3on3 Podcast. Hey, got a question, topic you want us to talk about? Hit us up on our email at 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate y'all. Tune in next week.